So I think that mastering life is really all about mastering habits. Because mastering habits is really all about mastering the mind. When we look into it, what are habits? Habits are like the, the manifestation of what we're thinking about all day. Like the manifestation of our mind, the way that it expresses itself. Because when we look at it, the thought is the seed that becomes the word. The word becomes the action becomes the habit. The habit becomes the character, and the character becomes the destiny, right? So if my mind is thinking all the time about failure, about this YouTube, about be happy that, oh, I can't do this, no one wants to watch anyway, and this will never be a success. If that is what my mind all of the time is thinking about, well, that is what I'm expressing in my words and the way that I express the words. And that is then the actions that then I probably cannot take action on actually recording these videos. And then I can actually not get up early in the morning. Then I cannot take the action that is to change my habits of how I wish my habits to be in order to make this function. So it's really all about mastering the mind, which is more easy said than done. Lots of people have been thinkers over the years, but very, very few people have mastered the mind. So I think about that, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because, as you know, because you're a die-hard fan, I know you are, I have just moved to Ecuador. I'm engaged with the love of my life, and life here is very different. I don't have to go to work all of the time. I don't have to be with Tim, which is really nice. And now we're just here living, and she's also creating her YouTube channel, Amandote. Link in the description. It's in Spanish, so if you speak Spanish. And what I have come to find is that, well, I really do have to change my habits. Not working all day is very easy. It's so easy not to work all day. But then there's all of the consequences of not working all day. I feel sloppy. I feel bad, I feel guilty, I feel not good enough, and then it's like drowning in those emotions. It's like drowning in that state. That state becomes like what's it called? It's called a sump in Danish, but I do not know. A moose. I'm gonna put it right here. That place. It's very easy to end there. Yeah. Me too. Breathe. The ocean is so nice, man. It's very easy to end there in that very, very heavy energy. So I desire to change my habits. And as any other human being, I have tried to change my habits many, many times before, often without great success. And I was reflecting upon this. How can this be that I have not succeeded in changing my habits? Just like, I'm the creator of my own life. Why is this hard? It's hard because I've not mastered it yet, right? With anything. If you want to play music, it's hard in the beginning. When you master it, it just flows through you. It's the same with habits. It's the same with skateboarding. It's so difficult to jump on a skateboard the first time. What I was thinking about is that I always wanted to change it now. From tomorrow. Yes, I have been waking up at 10 a.m. every single day for the last 3 months, but from tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 6. It has always kind of been like that way that I wanted to change my habits, and then of course it is not functioning. And now, in reading the Tao and making this series, Tao Tuesday, Living the Tao, they speak about allowing and flowing, and that the Tao is working with everyone, with everything, all of the time. So it is allowing and surrendering to that process while also have the desired outcome, but not being attached to that outcome. And then what I was thinking was well, that's the same with habits, to have the way that I want to change my habits, to be more work and to get inside of a work flow. Really, I want to create my mind keeping in mind the desired outcome, and then allowing it. then letting it flow in that direction. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Letting the energy flow in that direction, right? Because if I've been waking up at 10 a.m. for the last 2 or 3 months, then I cannot change like that, like do like that. Now this energy stops and then this energy starts. It does not work like that. It is like taking it slow and slowly changing the direction of the energy. So right now my energy is here and I'm doing this, but I'm like, I want to do that. Then it's like moving that energy in actually doing that. By first starting with the mind. Keep it in the mind. Keep the desired outcome in the mind and see how the words follow, and see how the actions follow, and see how the habits follow. Everything starts with the mind. And also, so how does the mind work? This was such a huge realization for me. It's Dr. Wayne Dyer, obvio Dr. Wayne Dyer who said it. He asked, how does the mind think? And I have always thought that the mind is thinking in words. Because when I'm thinking in words, obvio. But then he says, you think with pictures. And if I say Star Wars, well, if you know Star Wars, you get like the whole series of Star Wars in your mind like that. And you get it in a picture. And if you don't know anything about Star Wars, you're still getting like, you know, something about Star Wars. And you're still getting a picture in your mind about Star Wars. Godfather. Avatar, The Last Airbender. Then we get all of these pictures, and the mind is so powerful that we can have a whole movie, we can have a whole series, hours and hours and hours of content, and then we can have it right there. At the moment, like right there. And we don't think STARSTR Wars. Oh, that's not how you spell Star Wars. You don't think it in the words. And even if you do, you probably think S looks like this, T looks like this. And then you see like the logo. So we actually think in pictures. That's the way that the mind thinks. And I've heard like from many, but never quite understood it, that the mind does not know the difference between imagination and real life. The mind does not see the difference. And this actually, by thinking about it right now, this actually makes a lot of sense. Because, oh man, look at this. Have you ever caught yourself thinking about something and then you're like making faces, you know, of what you're thinking about in your mind? You're like, or maybe like, I don't know, man. When I think about Tim, you guessed it, then I get all of the feelings that I was feeling when I was with Tim. I get angry, I get frustrated, I get resentful, I get all of that. But not as much. And then when I do, I let it go. So the mind does not know the difference between imagination and real life. And real life, well, that must mean that there is no difference. Or maybe there is. I don't know. Because we are creating our lives with our minds. What we think about it. What we see, what we visualize. I don't know. Anyway, so that became like a little ramble about habits and how that I'm wishing to change my habits. Now, which habits do I desire to see? That's exciting. I would like to wake up in the morning and work. Like, I've had a hard time waking up in the morning. I'm often laying in the bed for like an hour. And what I would like is, I would like to get up earlier. I would like to get up at 6:30 and then starting working already at 7. And then working more throughout the day and getting good at getting that momentum. So first I have to like identify what it is that I wish to change. I will identify those places that breaks my momentum of working, like food. Eating is like a good breaker, so maybe eat more fruit throughout the day and just like being able to stay in the flow. I don't think I have anything more actually. I think that was pretty much it. I got bitten by a dog 2 days ago. Look at that. By a dog. Luckily, I had a shirt on. I never had my shirt on, but I had a shirt on to protect my arms from the sun because I'm so white. So luckily I had the shirt on, so it just got a grip on the shirt instead of my arm. My God, I swear to you, the dogs here in Ecuador, they're so fucking dangerous. You never know. You never know what you get, and they're just walking freely in South America like street dogs. We don't have those in Denmark. So, yeah. And now there's a dog chasing the man on the motorcycle. Look at that. The dog's here, man. I fucking swear to you. It's just going. Ah! Well, there we go. Well, there you have it. A little video about changing habits. Working with the habits, working with the flow instead of going against it, and like working with the energy, working with the flow. Remember, everything is flowing. So keep the desired outcome in mind, and like use your mind to be the facilitator of your words, to be the facilitator of your actions, and the facilitator of your habits. Mastering how to use the mind is mastering how to use the habits. And then also like then your mind makes habits about YouTube, like thinking about YouTube all day, you know, that becomes a habit. And like analyzing and reflecting upon that, you know, then that becomes the habit of the mind. If you're super negative, then all that negativity and see all the negative stuff in the world, that is the habit of the mind. If you're super positive and lovable, that is the habit of the mind. And you're working with that flow. So that flow brings more of what you're doing, right? It brings more of what you're doing. So if you're in a state of suffering, well, then you're bringing more that to your life of what you're doing. If you're in a state of lovable acceptance, well, then you bring more of that into your life. That's how it works. It's the flow of it's the flow of energy. It's the flow of life. It's the flow of the Tao. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you got something out of it. If you do, leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And yeah, see you in the next video. And of course, wishing you well, wishing you blessings, and wishing you a good life. Be happy.